Hello YouTubers, this is Obsesseduvian95, a Doctor Who fan who is obsessed with the show, who was born in 1995. And this time I am doing an action figure review of the Cybermen from the Tomb of the Cybermen, which is one of my favourite stories, starring Patrick Troughton as the second Doctor. Now, this Cyberman, as you can see, is a lot different to the Cyberman which featured in my last review, which was the Cyberman from the 10th planet. Obviously, it's a bit more robotic, but you still have the sense that it is a bit human and actually a bit more alien as well, as I'll explain through this review. Now, this type first featured in the moon base, but on the packaging it just says the Tomb of the Cybermen, which is fair enough, seeing as this Cyberman also featured in the Tomb of the Cybermen. So it featured in two stories, basically. So first of all, let's have a look at the detail. So we'll start with the head this time, and the eyes. We have black rings around the eyes, and also have holes around the eyes, something that was absent on the 10th planet Cyberman, and it's very similar to the 10th planet Cyberman, I must say, the eyes, that is. But the mouth is completely different. No lips or mouth. You can just see a letterbox which opens and closes when it speaks. It's a bit like nowadays when the Cybermen talk, the mouths light up blue. But obviously the mouth has been painted open to make it look like it is talking, which is very chilling. And the bars around its head, which is it's quite bendy. You can just see that it's very bendy and very rubbery. So if you play with it for a long time, you might snap it. But it is transparent, which is correct because that's how they were in this particular story. And the head, you may just be able to see like around the shoulder area. If we just turn it around, it's actually plugged on because that's how the heads were. They just made the costume and then just plugged the head on for the actor. So they got the actor inside the costume, and then after he was put in the costume, they just planted the helmet on, and there you go. You have your Cyberman. And also at the top of the head, we've got this here as well. Now, like the 10th planet Cyberman, we also have something around here, around the torso, except it's less exaggerated and it's a lot smaller. This is the main unit of the Cyberman, because in this story there's a bit where one of the Cybermen get destroyed and a lot of white goo comes out of the Cyberman, and that is organic fluid, and it's all stored inside here with all the robotics and all of that. So I'll just give you a look inside to how it looks. So it's very nice, and you've got a nice pattern here going up. It's very good, and it's transparent here again. So there's a lot of transparent things on this classic Cybermen, I must say. And also here you can see there's holes on the face, And I think these were breathing holes for the actors to breathe, because they might have got a bit claustrophobic, because obviously you've got a hot suit on. God knows what the helmet would be like. On the back we've got hinges on the helmet as well, where it fits in. And the wires are sculpted in the back. And there's wires connecting to the shoulders. And there is piping on the arms as well, which was not featured on the 10th Planet Cyberman, and it would become a recurring thing throughout the classic series, because it would return again in other designs, such as the Invasion, which will be the next figure I review. It also returns on the Revenge of the Cybermen design, which was a story starring Tom Baker. And the piping goes down on the legs as well. And if you just move the arm a bit, the pipes move as well, which is quite good, I must say. It's like the I think it looks a lot like the actual Cyberman from this story, I must say. And the boots are different as well. They're just a lot smaller now, and they're not like wellies like the last design. And at the bottom it's just painted silver as well. It just says what year they're from, and that is 1967, when this story was first transmitted, and when the moon base was first transmitted as well. So that is it for all of the detail. Now onto the articulation. Now, as I noted earlier on in the review, the head is basically just planted onto the body for the actors, and it cannot move. It's just stays there like that. So don't try and move the head, because it's not articulated, and that is correct, because in the story it doesn't move as well. But the arms can move. I say they can move, at least. They can't do a 360 though, because they're hindered by these wires. If you try and do a 360, they'll just snap off basically, and you're in big trouble. The biceps can move as well, but they can't do a 360 because of the piping. And the elbows can move up and down, and the hands can move around as well, and the knees can bend, and the legs can move a bit, but that's all the articulation you're going to get with this figure, really. There's not much articulation, but I'm not fussed, because it's not like they were gymnasts, so they were all slow and creepy, just coming up to you very, very slowly. So I noted at the start of this review that they're a bit more alien. The reason for this is because of the hands, and you may have noticed they only have 3 fingers, so they're a bit like Sontarans. So that's very good attention to detail. I'm glad that they made it have 4 fingers and 1 thumb. Not 5 fingers. We don't have 5 fingers. We have 4 fingers and 1 thumb apparently. So that's very nice attention to detail. And the piping, it looks very, very surreal as well. As I said, it's like all the ventilation is all around the body. It's really good. The figure itself is a really, really good figure. Like the 10th Planet Cyberman, I would definitely get this figure. It's one of the definitive designs of Cyberman out there. One of my favourite designs, especially, simply because to me the Cyberman is one of the best Doctor Who stories of all time, and one of Patrick Troughton's best as well. And there are two ways you can get this figure. You can get this within the Men of Steel range, like the 10th Planet Cyberman. If you get this in the Men of Steel range, then you have to collect all the figures to get the Cyber Controller from the same story, Tomb of the Cybermen. And you can also get this as an exclusive with the first release of the second Doctor figure, Patrick Troughton, which was first released in July 2009. So that is it really. Thank you very much for watching my review of the Cyberman from the Tomb of the Cybermen. Join me next time as I shall be reviewing another Cyberman from I don't know why I did that. Another Cyberman from the Invasion, which is from season 6, and it is over a year after the Tomb of the Cybermen was released. And in between that, we have the Wheel in Space, which has another different type of Cyberman, but unfortunately, that has not been released yet. So hopefully, one day that figure will be released. So yeah, our next figure review is the Cyberman from the Invasion, which is a 1968 story, also starring Patrick Troughton, as the Cybermen were his main villain. So I hope you join me for that review, and if you enjoyed this review and you've not subscribed to me yet, then please comment, rate and subscribe, and have a look at all my other videos, what I've made, because I've made quite a lot of videos now. This is my 103rd video. This is the Obsessivian signing off, and I shall see you in my next action figure review.